Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Sustainability Podcast with the Nevada Conservation League. My name is Evan Gatesman, and we're looking to create conversations around sustainability. And we're with the Nevada Conservation League, who is the independent political voice of Nevada's conservation community. And we work to maintain and enhance the natural character of Nevada and the quality of life for Nevadans through effective advocacy, the election of pro-conservation candidates, and building collaboration. And today it's my pleasure to introduce our next guest, John Hoagland, who I originally met at an electric car show at the Springs Preserve. And today's topic is going to be carbon sequestration. So that's pulling carbon out of the atmosphere and storing it in some kind of static state, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Trying to get carbon into a solid state. And I should say there's two kinds of technologies that are involved in that whenever you discuss carbon sequestration, and that is pulling existing carbon out of the atmosphere. That's called DAC, direct air capture. And then there's FSC, which is flue stack capture. So one is designed to get carbon out of the atmosphere, and the other is to prevent it from going in the atmosphere in the first place. And as the name implies, flue stack, that's generally, industrial releases of carbon gases, not necessarily tailpipe, right? So that's a separate issue. Trying to sequester that carbon is different. But that's basically trying to take carbon in a gaseous state and turn it into a solid. And in my case, mineralization, you can create other types of carbon solids, carbon fiber, carbon, for that matter, even biotic or plant material. But the other option is to just condense CO2 gas and do something called underground injection, at UIC, underground injection control. And there's been a lot of projects involving trying to sequester CO2 as a fluid, as a gas, as a condensed gas, and using it even as a fracking fluid underground. That's another approach. You're not really creating a solid, but you're sequestering it underground. So does that make sense? Those are a couple of ways to lock up carbon.
Interesting. So in general, why do we want to store carbon? Like, what is the overall goal?
CO2 is one of several greenhouse gases, but it's the most abundant in terms of, in terms of its effect, just because of the combination of its efficiency at re-radiating heat as well as its abundance in the atmosphere. So it's one of the largest greenhouse gases, and it's creating climate change, of course. So the idea with both, preventing carbon from getting in the atmosphere in the first place, trying to contain industrial emissions of carbon, as well as pulling existing carbon out of the atmosphere to try to reduce the man-made component of the greenhouse effect.
Absolutely.
There's a natural greenhouse effect, and that's what's confusing to the public. There is a greenhouse effect on Earth that even if humans and industry were not here, there would be a greenhouse effect that raises the temperature of the Earth just absorbing free radiation from space. It would raise it up something like an average temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that globally. But we've increased that by our human-induced climate change. So that's what we're trying to head off.